All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome into Jammin' Sports on this Tuesday night, where we continue with our Major League Baseball playoffs. Now that football is over, we did the Super Bowl this past Sunday. Last night, the Oakland Athletics defeated the Kansas City Royals 5-4 in 10 innings to wrap up the American League Division Series. The A's will play Game 1 against the Yankees tomorrow night in the American League Championship Series. Tonight, we start Game 1 of the National League Championship Series between the Miami Marlins, or the Florida Marlins in this case, and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And that's the National League Championship Series. So we're down to the final four. We'll just go back and forth flip-flopping. We'll go Game 1 of this series tonight, Game 1 of the other series tomorrow, Game 2 of this series on Thursday, and etc. All right, if you're watching on YouTube, please follow, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Let's head out to Phoenix, Arizona. It'll be the Marlins and the Diamondbacks, the National League Championship Series, Game 1, here at Jammin' Sports. Your lineups for tonight. Jammin' Sports presents Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. From Phoenix, Arizona, the Arizona Diamondbacks hosting the Florida Marlins. And we go to the top of the first inning. John Donaldson will be the starting pitcher for Arizona here in Game 1. We're at Bank One Ball Field in Phoenix. It's the proper name of this stadium. It's the best of 7. Whoever wins 4 games first. Leading things off will be Howard Easterling for the Marlins. Easterling, the center fielder. First pitch is fouled away. Strike 1. We're underway. Live from Phoenix. And now the 0-1 pitch. Easterling rips one into the sky, and that one is gone. And the Marlins take a quick 1-0 lead. The first batter of the game, Howard Easterling, a solo shot home run. That's one way to start the series. Wow. That's a tone setter right there. And the Marlins, on the first batter of the game, they hit a home run. Howard Easterling, the center fielder, hits a solo shot in the left field. And the Marlins take a 1-0 lead. Let's watch it again. No doubt about that one. Next up, John Beckwith. He's the first baseman. Fouls that one off. Count goes to 0-1. So the Marlins out to a quick 1-0 lead here in game one. And now the 0-1 pitch. Inside, 1-1. Games 1 and 2 here in Arizona. Games 3, 4, and 5 will be in Miami. Games 6 and 7 will be back here in Arizona. Pops it up out to right field. And Luis Gonzalez makes the play at right for out number 1. Evil Dead is with us. Yeah, Easterling played from 37 to 46. Rap Dixon up next. He's the right fielder. Good to have Evil Dead with us here this evening as we kick off the NLCS. The pitch by Donaldson. Big swing and a miss. Strike one to Dixon. 1 out, bases empty. A solo shot by Easterling. The Marlins take a 1-0 lead. Counts 0-1 to Dixon. Fouls that one off. Quickly 0-2. Thank you, Evil Dead. These are a lot of Negro League players that are on the Marlin roster. Inside, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Dixon. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball into right field. The base hit. A 1-out single for Rap Dixon. Marlins have a runner on first with 1 out. Next up, Piper Davis. He's the second baseman. Inside, 1-0. Almost the entire Marlin team is made up of Negro League players. Thank you there. Back in time. Dixon dives in. Oh, they got him. Oh, they said they got him. They picked him off. Rap Dixon was picked off at first. I guess he was. Nice throw by Donaldson. And that'll be 2 outs. Umpire was right there looking at it. So now with 2 outs, bases empty. Dixon hits one into left. And that'll be a 2-out single for Piper Davis. So with 2 outs, the Marlins have a runner aboard. And now Vic Harris will come up, the left fielder. The pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Thank you, Evil Dead. My director of information and pronunciation. Vic Harris, the count's 0-1. The pitch. A ground ball, and it's knocked down by the third baseman, Dandridge. But it's going to be an infield single. And now the Marlins have runners at first and second with 2 outs. Here in the top of the first. And now Heavy Johnson comes up. He's the catcher. The pitch. Inside, 1-0. A walk below the bases. There's 2 outs here in the top of the first. One-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. Thank you, Evil Dead. 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Count goes to 1-2 to Heavy Johnson. And now the 1-2 pitch. Right up the middle. It's going to be snagged by the shortstop, Lloyd, for the out. Howard Easterling, a solo shot home run. He gives the Marlins a 1-0 lead after a half inning. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. Josh Beckett on the mound for the Marlins, the starting pitcher tonight. We go to the bottom of the first. Marlins up 1-0 here in Game 1 of the NLCS. We have a good crowd on this Tuesday night. Ray Dandridge, The third baseman will lead things off. Pitch by Beckett. Inside, 1-0. Arizona has a lot of Negro League players as well on their rosters. 1-0 pitch. Outside. Count goes to 2-0 to Dandridge. We're in the bottom of the first. Marlins up 1-0. 2-0 pitch. A ground ball to the second baseman, Piper Davis, for the out. TMG has joined us from Cincinnati. Yep, the Jets won the Super Bowl the other night. Jody Johnson up next, the second baseman for the Diamondbacks. 1 out, bases empty. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. We'll have Game 1 of the American League Championship tomorrow night. It'll be the A's and the Yankees from New York. Here's the pitch. Up high, 1-0.
1 ball, no strike.
Jody Johnson. The 1-0 pitch by Beckett. High in the air. Who wants to take it? First baseman Beckwith comes in, calls everybody off, and makes the out. 2 down. It was boring. It was the last meeting before the fair, which starts up this Saturday. Just went over a lot of car show stuff. That's about it. Luis Gonzalez will come up. He's the right fielder. First pitch. Big swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1 pitch. Up high, 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Top secret affairs. Hardly. They're kind of boring most of the time. Here's the 1-1. In there for a strike. Goes to 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Down low. That evens the count at 2-2 to Gonzalez. Beckett trying to make it a 1-2-3 inning. 2-2 pitch.
Full count.
Inside, full count, 3-2. John Donaldson. He's the DH. Full count. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off down the third base line. Count remains at 3-2 to Gonzalez. Actually, Gonzalez is the right fielder, my bad. Up high, ball 4. It'll be a 2-out walk. Gonzalez is aboard. And now the DH, John Donaldson, will come up. 2 outs, runner on first. Swung at an inside pitch. Count goes to 0-1. Oh, 0-1 pitch. A ground ball to the shortstop. Ramirez gets the lead runner, and that'll end the inning. At the end of 1 complete, the Marlins lead it 1-0 here in Game 1 of the NLCS here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Bank One Ballpark, Phoenix, Arizona. Derek Lee will lead things off for the Marlins. He's the DH for Florida here tonight. We go to the top of the second. Marlins lead it 1-0. Facing the pitcher, John Donaldson. And that is out of play. Actually, the Diamondbacks aren't using a DH tonight. Donaldson is batting, even though he's the pitcher. A ground ball to short. Pop Lloyd picks it up, throws to first for the out. Derek Lee grounds out to short. The Royals did that last night. They didn't use a DH. They had the pitcher hit. Hanley Ramirez, the shortstop, in there for a strike, 0-1. 1 out, bases empty. Oh, yeah, he was a great hitter. Here's the 0-1. Down the line, it'll be a strike in foul territory. Count goes to 0-2 to Hanley Ramirez. 0-2 pitch. Inside 1-2. Misty has joined us. Here's the 1-2. Swung on an inside pitch. Struck him out. 2 down for the Marlins here in the top of the second. And now Edgar Renteria up next for Florida. Takes the first one for a strike. He's the third baseman. Oh, 1 pitch. High in the air, out to right field, making the play, Luis Gonzalez for the final out. A 1-2-3 inning for the Marlins. We go to the bottom of the second. Marlins lead it 1-0. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. Cool Papa Bell comes up. He's the center fielder, facing Josh Beckett. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off. I have the Marlins in the old school uniforms. These uniforms look a whole lot better than what they're wearing today. Here's the 0-1. Out into left field, but hooking foul. And the count goes to 0-2 to Cool Papa Bell. I love his name. Here's the pitch. Struck him out looking. That was not cool, Cool Papa. 1 out for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the second. Those were some nice pitches. Oh yeah, no argument there. Marlins are up 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Justin Upton, comes up. He's the first baseman today. Takes the first pitch for a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike 2. I can barely hear you, Misty. What did Misty what? Oh. Counts 0-2 to Upton. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss. Struck him out. Out number 2. Grace is going to be going on a short vacation here in a week or so. And she's going to go see, well, hold on. Pop Lloyd comes up, the shortstop. First one's in there for a strike. She'll be visiting her aunt. They're going to take her to a baseball game. Here's the 0-1. Fouled it off. Count goes to 0-2 to Pop Lloyd. Lloyd, the shortstop. And now the 0-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 0-2 to Pop Lloyd. Beckett trying to make it a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch. Down low, evens the count at 2-2.
2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. 2-2 pitch. Fouls that one off. Stays alive at the plate with a 2-2 count. Two-two pitch. Ball 3. Full count, 3-2. The Diamondbacks had a first-round bye, and then they beat the Dodgers to get here. The Marlins had a first-round bye, and they beat the Padres to get here. Struck him out, and that'll end the inning. At the end of 2 complete, the Marlins lead at 1-0. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. Howard Easterling, the center fielder. The last time he came up, he hit a solo shot home run to start the game. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Bank One Ballpark, Phoenix, Arizona is where we are. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Easterling, another one. A towering shot into center field. Easterling's on fire. 2 at-bats, 2 home runs. Another solo shot as the Marlins go up 2-0. That was a wicked shot. Let's take another look at that one. He got all of that one. Into the concourse. And now John Beckwith, the first baseman, comes up. Nobody out, bases empty. Marlins now lead it 2-0. First pitch is a ball. Count goes to 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Pops it up. Luis Gonzalez in right field comes over and makes the play for out number 1. 1 down for the Marlins here in the top of the third. Rap Dixon comes up next, the right fielder. 1 out, bases empty. Pitch by Donaldson. In there for a strike, 0-1. 0-1 pitch. Down low, 1-1. We'll have game 1 of the ALCS. A's and Yankees tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Game 2 of this series Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern. Hits it to the shortstop, Pop Lloyd, for the out. So Dixon grounds out to short. 2 down for the Marlins. And now Piper Davis, the second baseman, comes up. The pitch up high, 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. 2-0, up high. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Davis at the plate, 2-0 pitch. Down low, 3-0. John Donaldson, the pitcher for the Diamondbacks here in game 1. Here's the pitch. Ball 4 on 4 pitches. It'll be a 2-out walk for Piper Davis. He's aboard. And now the left fielder, Vic Harris, will come up. 2 outs with a runner on first. They throw to first. Davis back in time. The pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Donaldson trying to get out of the inning. 0-1 pitch.
No.
Down low, outside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on first base. The Marlins lead the Diamondbacks 2-0 here in the top of the third. And check that one out. Harris hits one into the night. See ya. Another solo. That's a 2-run shot. There was a runner on first. Vic Harris, a 2-run home run. And the Marlins go up 4-0 here in game 1. The Marlins bats are exploding here in game 1. Vic Harris, a 2-run shot. Let's watch this one again. Donaldson knew it. And now Heavy Johnson comes up next. He's the catcher. 2 outs, bases empty. It's a ball outside. Count goes to 1-0. Marlins now take a 4-0 lead here in the top of the third inning. And now the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1. Down low, but in the strike zone. Count goes to 1-2. And now Donaldson, the 1-2 pitch. Just a bit inside. Count goes to 2-2 to Heavy Johnson. And now the 2-2 pitch. Hit high in the air, out to center field. Cool Papa Bell makes the play for the final out. However, Vic Harris, it's Easterling, he hits a home run earlier. And then Vic Harris follows it up with a 2-run shot. And the Marlins take a 4-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the third. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports.
Leading up for the Diamondbacks,
Ted Radcliffe, the catcher, will lead things off for Arizona here in the bottom of the third. Marlins up 4-0. Beckett still on the mound. Pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. 0-1 pitch. Down low, outside. Count goes to 1-1. Ted Radcliffe is the catcher for Arizona. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 pitch. Swung at a high fastball. Fouls it off. Count goes to 2-2. Two-two pitch. Struck him out looking for out number 1. One down for the D-backs here in the bottom of the third inning. Marlins lead it 4-0. Jimmy Jam with Evil Dead. TMG is here tonight. Checking in from Cincinnati. Hold on. Mule Suttles up. And Suttles, he's got to be the DH. Oh, yeah. 339 career. Gosh. Career? Wow. Here's the 0-1. In there for a strike, 0-2. Suttles has to be the DH. Well, they're not using a DH. Struck him out, though. 5 strikeouts. And now Ray Dandridge comes up. He's the third baseman. 2 outs, bases empty. Facing Josh Beckett. The pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. TMG, Misty wants to know what the weather's like in Cincinnati today. It's probably like here, hot and humid. Here's the 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Quickly 0-2 to Ray Dandridge. Oh-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 0-2 to Dandridge. And now the 0-2 pitch. Outside. Count goes to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Here in the bottom of the third. Yeah, it's the same here in Nashville.
That's the ball.
Up high. That'll even the count at 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
2-2 pitch. Ripped down the first base line. Fair. It'll be a 2-out single for Dandridge. Going for 2. He's got a double. Slides in head first. Yeah, it's been stupid hot here. Yesterday and today. It'll be a 2-out double for Dandridge. And now Juddy Johnson will come up next. He's the second baseman. Outside, count goes to 1-0. So 2 outs for the D-backs, but they have a runner on second with Dandridge. A chance to get on the scoreboard here with 2 outs. Counts 1-0 to Johnson. 1-0 pitch. Fouls it off. Evens the count at 1-1. It's supposed to cool off a little bit here Saturday. Not a whole lot. Here's the 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2. Beckett trying to retire the side. 1-2 pitch. Fouled it off. Count remains at 1-2 to Juddy Johnson. One-two pitch. Outside. Evens the count at 2-2. Bank One Ballpark, Phoenix, Arizona. And now the 2-2 pitch. Rips it down the third base line, out of play. Count remains at 2-2. It's hot there in New York as well, isn't it, Evelyn? 2-2. And that's going to be a fly ball into left. Making the play, Vic Harris for the final out. The Diamondbacks threaten but don't score. Marlins lead at 4-0. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Derek Lee will lead things off for the Marlins. He's the DH tonight. John Donaldson still on the mound for the D-backs. Up high and inside. Count goes to 1-0 to Lee. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1.
1-1.
And now the 1-1 pitch.
Ball 2.
Ball 2.
2 balls, 1 strike.
As that was inside. Count goes to 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. Two-two pitch. Swung and struck him out. 1 down for the Marlins here in the top of the 4th. They lead at 4-0. Hanley Ramirez, the shortstop, will come up next. 1 out, bases empty. Pitch by Donaldson. In there for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Next pitch is fouled off down the third base line. Count goes to 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. Fouled it off. Count remains at 0-2 to Hanley Ramirez. Evil Dead, when did Ramirez play? I think he may still be playing. Here's the 0-2. Rung him up. 2 down. Struck him out looking. And now the third baseman, Edgar Renteria, comes up. 2 outs, bases empty. In there for a strike, 0-1. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Count quickly, 0-2 to Renteria. 0-2 pitch.
1-2.
Count goes to 1-2. Thank you, Evil Dead. Evil Dead's on top of it. Here's the 1-2. Struck him out. It's a 1-2-3 inning. At the end of 3.5 innings, the Marlins lead at 4-0. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Luis Gonzalez, the right fielder, will come up for the Diamondbacks, facing Josh Beckett. Bottom of the 4th inning. Inside, count goes to 1-0. The National League Championship Series, Game 1. Best of 7. Whoever wins 4 games first. Big swing and a miss. Strike 1. Count goes to 1-1 to Gonzalez. 1-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 1-2. One-two pitch.
2-2.
Up high, 2-2 to Gonzalez. 2-2 pitch. Hit high in the air, out to center field. Easterling goes over and makes the play for the out. Gonzalez flies out to center, one down for the Diamondbacks. Howard Easterling making the play. The pitcher, John Donaldson. They're not using a DH today. Donaldson's also pitching. You can opt not to use it if you don't want to use it.
No.
Outside 1-0. Your pitcher can hit if you want him to. You don't have to use a DH. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. I mean, if you've got a pitcher that can hit, why not leave him in there? 1 ball, 1 strike to Donaldson. We saw the Royals do that last night.
Ball.
Outside 2-1 to Donaldson. Two balls and a strike, 1 out, base is empty. Pitch by Beckett. High in the air. Who wants it? The shortstop, Ramirez, calling everybody off and makes the play for the out. 2 down for the D-backs here in the bottom of the 4th. Viking Skywalker. I haven't seen you in like years. How you doing, Viking Skywalker? Where have you been hiding all this time? Cool Papa Bell comes up next, the center fielder. 2 outs, base is empty. Evil Dead, you remember Viking Skywalker? We haven't seen him in like 3 years. Where have you been hiding? Here's the 0-1. In there for a strike, 0-2. And now the 0-2 pitch. A ground ball to the shortstop. Ramirez throws to first for the out. At the end of 4 complete, Marlins lead the Diamondbacks 4-0 NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Bank One Ballpark. NLCS Game 1. Marlins lead the Diamondbacks 4-0. Leading things off for the Marlins here in the top of the 5th will be Howard Easterling. He's 2 for 2 today, 2 home runs. Not that time. He grounds it out to second. Jody Johnson makes the play for out number 1. Viking Skywalker used to come in here a lot when I first started back in 2020. But we haven't seen him in a while. Good to see you there, Viking. John Beckwith, the first baseman, comes up next. 1 out, base is empty. Here's the pitch. High in the air. Cool Papa Bell in center field makes the play for out number 2. 2 down for the Marlins.
Up next for the Marlins.
2 up, 2 down. And now Rap Dixon, the right fielder, comes up. Donaldson trying to make it a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the pitch.
No, that's a ball.
Inside, 1-0.
1 ball, no strike.
And now the 1-0 pitch.
Ball 2.
Up high, 2-0.
2-0 to count.
We finished up our NFL Sim Season 35 this past Sunday. The Jets beat the 49ers 28-25. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 2-1. You can watch this Super Bowl on YouTube. Just look for Jammin' Sports. Here's the 2-1. And that's going to fall foul down the right field line. And the count goes to 2-2 to Rap Dixon. 2-2 pitch.
Full count.
Up high, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, base is empty. Full count. Here's the pitch.
Ball 4.
Ball 4. It'll be a 2-out walk for Dixon. Here in the top of the 5th.
The batter number 4, second baseman, Lorenzo David.
And I think we're going to see Donaldson come out. They're going to pull him. Let's see who the D-backs bring in. This will be, boy, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Brandon is Brandon. I don't know if that's a typo or what, but Brandon comes in. Piper Davis. Fat, is it spelled correctly? If it is, forgive me. Davis fouls it off. The second baseman, Piper Davis. Oh, that's his name? Gotcha. Thank you, Evil Dead. I've never heard of him before. Brandon Fat. Okay. Counts 0-1. There goes the runner, and he's safe. Rap Dixon still second. And now the Marlins with a runner on second base with 2 outs. Fat must be a current player that I don't know about. I don't follow Major League Baseball as closely as football and stuff. Especially not the Diamondbacks. I'm not really well versed on Arizona. Davis hits one into the night. See ya. My goodness. The Marlins have been hitting a ton. A 2-run shot for Piper Davis. And the Marlin home run barrage continues. 6-0 Florida. Here in the top of the 5th. Piper Davis, a 2-run shot. Let's watch this one again. They're hitting the long ball tonight. It's that hot Arizona air. Dry air, too. Hot and dry. The ball's going to carry. Fought. All right, thank you. Vic Harris comes up.
Ball.
Up high, count goes to 1-0. Vic Harris, the left fielder. So we've seen 3 different Marlins hit home runs tonight. Here's the 1-0 pitch with 2 outs. In there for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. Kelly and Lyon warming up with the bullpen. Counts at 1-1. Misty, who's sitting 5 feet behind me, saying hi. Fouls it off. Count goes to 1-2 to Vic Harris. Everybody say hi to Misty. The 1-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Counts at 1-2. There you go, Evil Dead. Guru, she says about time. Counts 1-2 to Harris. 1-2 pitch.
No, that's a ball.
Outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases empty. 2-2 pitch.
No.
Down low, full count now to Vic Harris. Three-two pitch. Swung for strike 3, and that'll end the inning. However, a 2-run shot by Piper Davis gives the Marlins a 6-0 lead here in Game 1 of the NLCS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Justin Upton at the plate with nobody out, nobody on. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. I think he's the DH now. Here's the 0-1. Into right field. It'll drop for a base hit. Right fielder Rap Dixon couldn't quite get to it. Oh, he's the first baseman. Thank you, Evil Dead. Suttles must have been a pinch hitter then. Pop Lloyd will come up, the shortstop. Nobody out, runner on first. 6-0 Marlins here in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch inside, 1-0. We'll have Game 1 of the ALCS tomorrow night. 8 o'clock Eastern. The A's and the Yankees will be in the Bronx for that one. Here's the 1-0. Inside, 2-0. All right, Misty, you go back to watching your TikToks. Counts 2-0 to Pop Lloyd. In there for a strike. Count goes to 2-1. I guess they can get anybody to play first. It's not that hard a position. Popped it up. Third baseman Renteria comes over and will make the play for the out. Lloyd pops out to third, one down for the Diamondbacks. Here in the bottom of the fifth with a runner on first base. What? Davis is not here. Ted Ratcliffe comes up. The catcher. I think he's upset the Jets won the Super Bowl. In their first strike, count goes to 0-1. One out, runner on first base for the Diamondbacks. Down 6-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. Counts 0-1 to Radcliffe. The pitch outside, count goes to 1-1. Yildiz is good. I went back and watched it again the other night. Popped it up. Out of play, count goes to 1-2. Valid reason to be upset. 1-2 pitch. Ripped it right to second base. Piper Davis, they're going to turn two. They do. And that'll end the inning. As the Marlins pull off a double play. Marlins lead at 6-0. NLCS. Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. 4-6-3 double play. Heavy Johnson, the catcher, leads things off for the Marlins here in the top of the sixth inning. Brandon Fott on the mound. Here's the pitch. And that's fouled off down the first base line. Count goes to 0-1. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Boy, oh boy. The barrage continues. That is the fourth Marlin in the lineup to hit a home run. Heavy Johnson, the catcher, a solo shot. And the Marlins take a 7-0 lead. 4 different Marlins have hit a home run. And Easterling has hit 2. And the Marlins are up 7-0 here in game 1. A lot of these have been monster shots. And now Derek Lee, he's the DH. He'll come up. In there for a strike. Nobody out, nobody on. Counts 0-1 to Lee. Here in the top of the sixth, Marlins lead at 7-0. 0-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 0-2 to Lee. He looks like Serrano from Major League. Here's the 0-2. Struck him out. Can't hit the curveball. One out for the Marlins here in the top of the sixth. Shortstop Hanley Ramirez comes up. One out, bases empty. In there for a strike, 0-1. Marlins up by a touchdown. Here's the 0-1. Inside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 pitch. Down low, 2-1.
2-1.
2-1 pitch.
No.
Inside, 3-1. 3 balls and a strike now to Ramirez. Well, that's in the strike zone. Full count now, 3-2 to Hanley Ramirez. Here's the pitch. Swung and struck him out for out number 2. 2 down for the Marlins here in the top of the sixth. Third baseman Edgar Renteria will come up.
Ball 1.
Up high, ball 1. Count goes to 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Fouls it off down the line. Count goes to 1-1. The Diamondbacks are the 1 seed, and the Marlins are the 2 seed. So the top 2 teams in the National League got to the championship. The 1-1 pitch down the line. Count goes to 1-2 to Renteria. 1-2 pitch. Rip foul. Counts at 1-2. 1-2 pitch. High in the air. Drifting foul. In the American League, it's a different story. The Yankees are the 4 seed, and the A's are the 6 seed. Swung on an inside pitch. Struck him out. Heavy Johnson, though, a solo shot home run, gives the Marlins a 7-0 lead at the end of 5.5 innings. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
The left fielder, number 44.
All right, he's playing left field. Mule Suttles. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-0. I thought he was the DH or something. He's playing left. Counts 1-0 to Suttles. Beckett still on the mound. Up high, 2-0. So the Diamondbacks are using a lineup that's not listed in the game. They messed up the lineup. Inside, 3-0. And now a 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Count goes to 3-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Marlins up 7-0. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Goes from 3-0 to 3-2. Full count now to Suttles. 3-2 pitch. Outside. Ball 4 and 4 pitches. Well, actually, it wasn't 4 pitches. But it's ball 4 nonetheless. Well, I didn't mean that they messed it up on purpose. They're using a lineup that's not listed in the game. They modified their lineup. Ray Dandridge will come up. He's the third baseman. Inside, 1-0. Diamondbacks have a runner on first with nobody out. Down 7-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. They're not doing anything illegal. It's just a lineup I haven't seen yet. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1. They've normally been using Suttles as either a first baseman or a DH. Here's the 1-1. Fouled it off. Down the first base line. Count goes to 1-2 to Ray Dandridge. One-two pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, runner on first base. Outside, they'll leave the count at 2-2. We're using MLB the show 24. I never did get a copy of 25. Oh well. Down the third base line, foul. Count remains at 2-2. 24 is a solid game. Two-two pitch. Down the third base line, foul. Remains at the plate with a 2-2 count. Hanging in there. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off again. Stays alive with a 2-2 count. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Right up the middle. Back to Beckett. They're going to turn 2. They got him. We'll score that a 1-6-3 double play. 2 down for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the 6th. And Juddy Johnson, the second baseman, comes up. in there for a strike, 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch.
Ball 1.
Outside, they'll leave the count at 1-1. 2 outs, bases empty for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-1. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 now to Johnson.
2 strikes.
Florida looking dominant tonight, at least so far. One-two pitch. Outside. Evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. 2-2 pitch. And that's going to drop for a base hit. Easterling will throw it in. A 2-out single for Juddy Johnson. So the Diamondbacks get a runner aboard. And now the right fielder, Luis Gonzalez, will come up. The pitch.
Ball. No.
Outside, ball 1. I think Beckett's starting to run out of steam. Counts 0-1 to Gonzalez. And now the 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. They'll leave the count at 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on first. 1-1 pitch. A ground ball to the first baseman. Beckwith makes it the play himself. And at the end of 6 complete, Marlins lead it 7-0. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports.
Now pitching for the Diamondbacks.
Oh boy.
Number 39.
Kim comes out to pitch for the Diamondbacks. I don't know how to pronounce that. That looks Korean.
Leading off for Miami.
Howard Easterling, he has 2 home runs tonight. That was his first one in the first inning. And that was his second one back in the 4th inning. Bunghole Kim. I don't think so. It's Kim on the mound,
1-0.
throwing like Quisenberry. Howard Easterling at the plate, the center fielder. 2 home runs tonight. Counts 1-0 to Easterling. The 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-1 on Howard Easterling. 1-1 pitch.
Ball 2.
Ball 2, it's low.
2 balls, 1
He throws like Dan Quisenberry of the Royals. We saw him the other night. Fouled it off. Count goes to 2-2 to Easterling. And now the 2-2 pitch. Fouls that one off down the third base line. Count remains at 2-2. It's his uncle. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out. 1 down for the Marlins here in the top of the 7th. We got to get Gracie in here. This is a Korean boy pitching. John Beckwith, the first baseman, will come up.
1-0.
Inside, ball 1. Count goes to 1-0. 1 out, base is empty. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, base is empty. The 1-1 pitch. Popped up in the air. Who wants it? Second baseman Johnson goes back, makes the play for the out. 2 down for the Marlins here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting, right fielder, Rap Dixon.
And now the right fielder, Rap Dixon, will come up. 2 outs, base is empty. Marlins lead it 7-0 here in the top of the 7th. The pitch by Kim. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. Count goes to 0-1. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike 2. Count goes to 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Down low, count goes to 1-2 to Rap Dixon. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 1-2. 2 outs, bases empty. 1-2 pitch.
2-2.
Down low, 2-2. Gracie, come here. It's a ground ball, and it's taken by the first baseman. That's going to be Upton, makes the play for the out. 7-0 Marlins. We go to the bottom of the 7th here at Jammin' Sports. Okay, Gracie's back with us now as we go to the bottom of the 7th. You got here a little bit too late. The pitcher for the Diamondbacks is Korean. I'll tell you what, but he's on the bench right now. John Donaldson comes in. He's now the DH.
No.
Outside, 1-0. Marlins lead at 7-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-0 pitch. Hit high in the air. Out to center field. Easterling makes the play. 1 out for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the 7th. When the Marlins come back up to bat, he'll be out there pitching. Cool Papa Bell, the center fielder, comes up. 1 out, bases empty. Oh, by the way, say hi to Evil Dead.
Hi. Evil Dead is the bomb.
It's a strike. Count goes to 0-1 to Cool Papa Bell. 1 out, bases empty. So, oh, there goes the shutout, maybe. Oh, it's foul. Cool Papa Bell nearly had a home run. It's a strike. Count goes to 0-2. And now the pitch by Beckett. He went around, struck him out. 2 down for Arizona here in the bottom of the 7th. Gracie likes to look in the crowd and see what the people are doing. Like the girls eating pretzels behind home plate. Next up, Justin Upton. He's the first baseman. Here's the pitch. Here's strike. Count goes to 0-1. When you play at the Polo Grounds, there's girls in the front row, and all they do during the game is eat. It's hilarious. Counts 0-1 to Upton.
Ball 1.
Outside, evens count at 1-1. Yeah, there's somebody drinking a beer. She pointed out somebody drinking the beer. Count goes 1-2 now to Upton with 2 outs, bases empty. And now the 1-2 pitch. Down low, evens the count at 2-2. Not a whole lot of people eating here today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out. And that'll end the 7th inning. Marlins lead at 7-0. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. It's soda. All right, now Gracie gets to see the pitcher. Oh, we got a new pitcher coming in. Oh, you missed him. He looked like a K-popper. Matt Manti will come on. He did. He looked like one of your pretty boys you watch.
Leading off for the Marlins.
Piper Davis will lead things off for the Marlins. They're up 7-0. He's the second baseman here in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. Oh, she can get out. Here's the pitch.
Yep.
In there for a strike, 0-1. It was just so's brother. 0-1 pitch.
1-1.
Outside, 1-1. Nobody out, nobody on here in the top of the 8th. Marlins up 7-0. Davis at the plate. The 1-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 1-2. Marlins looking to take a 1-0 lead in this series. Stealing home field advantage. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3. It drops to the ground. They'll have to throw him out. And they do. Davis will strike out. 1 down from the Marlins here in the top of the 8th. We'll have game 2 of this series on Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Vic Harris will come up. Fouls it off. Harris, the left fielder. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern, we'll have game 1 of the ALCS, the Athletics and the Yankees from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. Here's the 0-1. Fouls it off. Count goes to 0-2 to Vic Harris. Only doing one game tonight. I got to work on NFL rosters when this is over. That's always a chore. Here's the 0-2. Fouls it off. And now the 0-2. Struck him out for out number 2. No baseball game you've ever been to has had more than 2 hits. You've been to some defensive games. And now the catcher, Heavy Johnson, comes up with 2 outs, bases empty. Marlins up 7-0 here in the top of the 8th. And that's fouled off down the third base line. Counts at 0-1. A's Yankees should be a good series. Here's the 0-1. In there for a strike. Quickly 0-2 to Johnson. And now the 0-2 pitch. He swung at it. Struck him out. At the end of 7.5. Marlins lead at 7-0. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Pop Lloyd, the shortstop, will lead things off for Arizona. Josh Beckett still on the mound, trying to go the distance. Here's the pitch. Down low, 1-0. Gregg and Lopez warming up in the bullpen for the Marlins. Counts 1-0 to Lloyd. 1-0 pitch. Down low, 2-0. I bet you they pull Beckett this inning. 2-0 pitch. Down low, 3-0. Three balls, no strikes. The pitch to Lloyd. In there for a strike, 3-1.
3-1.
And now the 3-1 pitch. Up high. Ball 4, leadoff walk for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the 8th.
Leading off for the Diamondbacks.
And now Ted Radcliffe will come up. He's the catcher. Nobody out, runner on first. Marlins up 7-0. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. The runner stays at first base. And the count goes to 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball, third base line, foul. That'll even the count at 1-1. One pitch. Down low, 2-1. Two-one pitch. Down low, 3-1. Yeah, Beckett is running out of gas here. Counts 3-1 to Ted Radcliffe. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. I bet you they pull him now. As the Diamondbacks have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Yep, they're going to pull him. Let's see who the Marlins bring in.
Now pitching for Miami. Number 60.
Kevin Gregg will come in relief. He inherits a situation where there's nobody out and runners on first and second for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the 8th. Marlins lead at 7-0 here in game one. Mule Suttles comes up. He's playing left field tonight. The pitch in there for a strike.
No ball. One strike.
Lloyd at second, Radcliffe at first for the D-backs. Counts 0-1 to Suttles. The pitch, a ground ball foul down the third base line. Count goes to 0-2. I need to adjust my lineup card here.
Ball.
Outside, count goes to 1-2. Put Suttles in as the left fielder. Counts out 1-2 to Suttles. 1-2 pitch up high, 2-2.
Two balls.
Misty said
Two
something to me.
strikes.
I didn't hear. Yeah, I did. Counts at 2-2 to Suttles. 2-2 pitch.
Full count.
Excuse me. A ball. Count goes to 3-2. Count is full. Three-two pitch.
Ball four.
Ball four. Oh boy. Bases are loaded for the D-backs with nobody out here in the bottom of the eighth. This one just got interesting again. And now Ray Dandridge, the third baseman, will come up. Bases loaded, nobody out. Let's see if the Diamondbacks can get some runs. Here's the pitch. Ripped it foul down the first base line. The count goes to 0-1. A strikeout here would be huge. Bases loaded, nobody out. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-2 to Ray Dandridge. Oh-2 pitch.
That's a ball.
Inside. Count goes to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, bases loaded. Marlins up 7-0. 1-2 pitch. And Dandridge hits a grand slam. No doubt about that one. And it's now 7-4. The Marlin lead is now just 3. As Ray Dandridge hits a grand slam in the bottom of the 8th. Clears the bases. And the Marlins lead is now 7-4. The Diamondbacks are in striking distance now. TMG, that's right, comeback incoming. They're off to a good start. Dandridge hit that one a ton. And now Juddy Johnson, the second baseman, comes up. Nobody out, bases empty.
No.
Pitch is low, 1-0. The Marlins were dominating up until just a few minutes ago. Counts out 1-0 to Johnson. Fouls that one off. That'll even the count at 1-1. That was a wicked shot. Here's the 1-1. Fouls that one off down the third baseline. The count's now at 1-2 to Johnson. 1-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out. One down for Arizona here in the bottom of the 8th.
Now batting, the right fielder.
He got Johnson swinging on an outside pitch. Chased that one. Luis Gonzalez, the right fielder, comes up now. 1 out, bases empty.
Ball.
Inside, ball 1. Count goes to 1-0. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Marlins up 7-4 now. Kevin Gregg on the hill. Here's the 1-0 pitch.
No.
Outside, 2-0.
2 balls. No strike.
And now the 2-0 pitch.
Inside.
Outside, 3-0. Tell you what, Gregg isn't doing a very good job in relief. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Popped it up. In center field, Easterling going back. Easterling is out of here. It's a solo shot home run by Luis Gonzalez, just clearing the fence. And it's now 7-5. Diamondbacks are having a monster 8th inning. 5 runs so far this inning. A grand slam and now a solo shot by Luis Gonzalez. It's 7-5. Just beyond the reach of Howard Easterling. Well, Greg wasn't any use. Tanner Scott comes in for the Marlins.
Tanner Scott.
Caps are on right now. So Tanner Scott will come up. Here's the pitch by Scott. In there for a strike, 0-1. John Donaldson, he's now the DH. He started as the pitcher. Here's the 0-1. Big swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 out, bases empty. Marlins now lead by 2 here in the bottom of the 8th. 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2. One-two pitch. Down low. Evens the count at 2-2. Yeah, the D-backs must have their rally caps on by now. 0-2 pitch. Up high, 3-2. Full count to John Donaldson, the pitcher, the DH now. Three-two pitch. Ball 4. It's another walk. And now the tying run will come to the plate. Cool Papa Bell, the center fielder. Just 1 out, runner on first. Nightmarish inning for the Marlins here in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch to Bell. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. And the count goes to 0-1. What Florida needs here is a double play. 0-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 0-2 to Bell. Marlins lead is now cut to 7-5. 0-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 0-2. Next pitch inside. Count goes to 1-2 to cool Papa Bell. 1-2 pitch. Inside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first base. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Stays alive at the plate with a 2-2 count. And now Scott, the 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Long at bat for Bell. Count remains at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off again. Count remains at 2-2. Just 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out. He swung at some high heat. 2 down for Arizona.
Now batting, number 10.
Yeah, he swung at a bad pitch. Next up, Justin Upton. He's the first baseman. 2 outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike 1.
No ball, 1 strike.
Scott trying to finally retire the side, not give up any more runs. 2 outs, runner on first base. 0-1 pitch, a pitch out. They don't take the bait. And the count's at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on first. Here's the pitch. In their first strike. Count goes to 1-2. One-two pitch. Struck him out looking. At the end of 8 complete, the Diamondbacks managed to score 5, but they still trail 7-5. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the 9th inning. Derek Lee will lead things off for the Marlins, the DH. Matt Manti on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Marlins looking for some insurance runs. Lee, that's going to be a base hit. That may go all the way to the wall. It does. Extra bases for Derek Lee. And he's going to hold up at second. It'll be a leadoff double for Lee and the Marlins here in the top of the 9th. Well hit. All the way to the wall in right field. And now the shortstop, Hanley Ramirez, will come up with nobody out, runner on second. Here's the pitch. Popped it up. Cool Papa Bell in center field comes over and makes the play for out number 1. They keep Lee at second base. 1 down.
The batter, number 3.
And now Edgar Renteria, the third baseman, will come up. 1 out, runner on second base. That's Derek Lee at second. It wasn't personal. Outside, I don't know. Hey, I like tuna sandwiches. Valverde and Lyon getting ready in the bullpen. Counts up 1-0 to Renteria. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss. That'll even the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, runner on second. Thank you.
Ball 2, down.
Down low, 2-1. I had a senior moment. It happens. Count goes to 2-1 to Renteria. 2-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Evens the count at 2-2. Appreciate that. Evil Dead, my director of information and pronunciation. Here's the 2-2.
Ball 3.
Down low, full count, 3-2 to Edgar Renteria. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off down the third base line. Stays alive at the plate with a 3-2 count. Three-two pitch.
Take your base.
Outside, ball 4. And now the Marlins have runners at first and second with 1 out here in the top of the 9th. They lead it 7-5. And now the center fielder, Howard Easterling, he has 2 home runs today. How about a third? Be like Reggie. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off. Strike 1. Count goes to 0-1. 1 out for the Marlins here in the top of the 9th. Runners at first and second. Lee at first. Lee at second. Renteria at first. Here's the 0-1. Inside. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. They can do whatever they want.
No, outside.
Counts at 2-1. They're always throwing towels in this game. They do that all the time. Maybe a bit too much. 2-1 pitch outside. Count goes to 3-1 to Howard Easterling. A walk would load the bases. 3-1 pitch. Swung for strike 2. We got a full count at 3-2. 3-2 pitch.
That's a ball.
All four bases loaded for the Marlins with one out here in the top of the ninth.
Now batting, number 27.
And now John Beckwith will come up. He's the first baseman. Bases loaded, one out. Here's the pitch. Ripped foul down the first baseline. The count goes to 0-1. Just one out. Marlins looking for some insurance runs. Here's the 0-1.
No, that's a
Down low, evens the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bases loaded. One pitch. Popped it up. And that's going to fall out of play. Count goes to 1-2 to Beckwith. And now the 1-2 pitch by Manti. Way outside, but he chased it, struck him out. That is a huge strikeout. 2 down for the Marlins now. And now the Marlins need a base hit to score a run, as Beckwith chased a bad pitch. Rap Dixon will come up. He's the right fielder. 2 outs, bases empty. Facing Manti, here's the pitch.
No.
Down low, 1-0.
1 ball. No strike.
If he can put the ball in play, they'd probably score 2 runs. Counts at 1-0 to Dixon. 1-0 pitch. Popped it up. And that's going to drift out of play. And that's going to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. Bases loaded here in the top of the ninth. Dixon back at the plate. The 1-1. Pops it up. Out in the left field. Suttles will come over and make the play for the final out. The Marlins threaten but don't score. We go to the bottom of the ninth. NLCS Game 1 here at Jammin' Sports. Marlins lead it 7-5. Rob Nen will come on
Now pitching for the Marlins,
to try to close out the game.
31.
The Marlins are 3 outs away from taking Game 1 of the NLCS. Pop Lloyd, the shortstop, will lead things off for the D-backs. Let's see what Nen can do.
Ball. Down
Ball
low.
1 is down low. Count goes to 1-0 to Lloyd. The Diamondbacks need 2 to tie, 3 to win. 1-0 pitch. Up in there for a strike. Count goes to 1-1 to Lloyd. Counts at 1-1. Pitch by Nen. In there for a strike, 1-2.
1 ball. 2 strikes.
1-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 1-2. Top of the ninth. Diamondbacks down by 2 runs, trying to get back in the game, possibly win it here in the ninth. Fouls it off. Count goes to 1-2 to Pop Lloyd. One-two pitch. Swung and struck him out. 1 down for the D-backs.
Now batting,
And now the Marlins are 2 outs away from taking Game 1. Stealing the home field advantage. Next up, Ted Radcliffe, the catcher. 1 out, bases empty. Rips that one foul down the third baseline. And the count goes to 0-1. Viking Skywalker hoping the Marlins can pull this one out. 0-1 pitch.
No, that's it.
Inside, 1-1. We'll be back tomorrow with Game 1 of the ALCS. A's-Yankees at 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. Here's the 1-1.
Ball.
Up high, 2-1. One out, bases empty. 2-1 pitch. Fouls that one off. Evens the count at 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, one out, bases empty. 2-2 pitch.
Ball.
Down low, full count, 3-2. Three-two to Radcliffe. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off. Stays alive with a 3-2 count. Three-two pitch. A ground ball to third. Renteria making the play for the out. The Diamondbacks are down to their final out as Radcliffe grounds out to third. And now the left fielder, Mule Suttles, will come up. Marlins 1 out away from wrapping up game 1. Take a 1-0 lead in the series. It's a best 4 of 7. Here's the pitch.
No, that's down.
Down low, 1-0. Rob Nen trying to close it out. 1-0 pitch.
That's a strike.
In there for a strike, 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
1-1 pitch. Outside. BFDI fans in the house. Good to see you, BFDI fan. Well, you got here a little bit late. This one's almost over. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, for the A's and the Yankees game 1. 2-1 pitch.
Ball.
Inside, ball 3. Count goes to 3-1. Three-one pitch. A ground ball to short. Ramirez makes the play, and the Marlins take game number 1. They beat the Diamondbacks 7-5. They take a 1-0 lead in the series. Your final score, the Marlins 7, the Diamondbacks 5. The Marlins take a 1-0 lead in this best of 7. Once again, your final score, the Marlins 7, the Diamondbacks 5. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, join us for Game 1 of the American League Championship Series between the A's and the Yankees. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, right here at Jammin' Sports. Until then, good night, everybody.